Hello and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
We have some. Hello, Lucie.
Hi.
We have some big news today that's gonna. I guess it'll probably affect the show. I don't know if people know. I don't know if people think we're brother and sister, or if I'm just a guy who like keeps you in a. People think I keep you in a basement somewhere. Or did
never not consensually. I mean.
Well, you're some girl who likes basements.
Yeah.
Is it because you like being kept in the basement, or was it because
it's just like the way that like sometimes
you just like the wood paneling?
Yeah, like sometimes how sometimes like an animal will like a little closing around it.
Yeah.
It just feels safe.
Okay.
Like yeah, I like.
So you see yourself as some kind of like feral street animal who like gets assaulted and wounded and crawls into a hole to like hopefully lick its wounds
exactly
and hopefully not slowly die to death. But
yeah, and you're the kindly woodsman who's taken me in.
There was actually a thing we did on the podcast we used to do, Love is Disgusting, where you had this fantasy about the woodsman and how he would. Do you want to tell it real quick?
Oh yeah, so like the fantasy was basically, I won't tell like all the detail, but it's basically like it's kind of a dark sexual fantasy I used to have where I wake up in the middle of the woods,
right?
And it's clear that I've just been like assaulted some way, not necessarily raped, but maybe just beaten. Maybe I'm being politically persecuted.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's gonna be rape. I don't want to be the guy saying you were raped, but usually it's the other way around.
But it's like here's the thing: I'm the author, and
you were raped. What are you talking about, you crazy woman? I'm
the author, and I'm the reader at the same time.
Stop spreading lies.
I want to create a little mystery for myself. You know? And so I get up, I come to my senses, and I'm wandering down.
I was raped? Question mark.
I was raped. A sexual fantasy by Lucie Steiner. But it's like, so I'm walking down this country road and and I see this guy chopping wood in front of a little cottage. And he kind of sees me and like, it's almost like he knows what happened.
He did it. He was wearing a ski mask, but he did it.
Because he knows he lives in a dangerous town or something. And he's just like, come on in. Or he doesn't even talk. He just nods his head through the door. And he nurses me back to health. So,
I forgot these elements of it. So this man, first of all, you don't seem to be, after his awful assault, you're still not possessing any like survival skills or all right, let's go.
I'm just so weak at this point.
Sure, but also like he's just when a guy nods at a rape victim to get into his house, no, that's a good guy. That's a guy who's gonna take care of you. You came in muster a, you okay? Hi, okay. We've got like a fucking he'd be a fucking guy with a voice box, but like he couldn't afford it. So he just I assume it's what it sounds. I don't know.
There are a lot of scenes of him like feeding me soup.
What kind of soup does he have?
And then eventually he has me start working because I have to get strong.
For what?
And then, for life.
For his sex Olympics in the basement? He's built a lot of contraptions. You need to you gotta work yourself up to strength so you can try my sexual games. I know you're up for it. The boys told me.
No, he doesn't want to have sex with me. He that's against his moral code.
I just feel like you're fantasizing about someone who you would do these things to you, but you pretend like he wouldn't. It's like you're fantasizing about like Hitler, like being head of like PETA or something, and it's like, what's wrong with fantasizing? He's like, I don't know, because then like maybe you'll give him another chance with a time machine. Point, you see my analogy?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Anyway, it's a lovely story. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how we got into that.
I don't know.
People, people seem were brothers and sisters, or that were boyfriend and girlfriend, which we're not.
No, we're not.
Why is that?
Because, we're fiancés.
Oh! Suck it. Yes, we're engaged. I proposed.
You all thought you could stop us, but nope. I like to pretend it's us against the world.
No,
even though people are probably wanted us to get engaged.
I mean, I do have an engagement announcement that I was, wanted to do.
Yeah.
On the show, which, it's funny you mentioned it that way. Because I just want to say to all my haters who hide in the shadows and spread lies and do dirty tricks against me, you've lost.
You are talking about Cincinnati Benjamin, right?
Well, he's one of them.
Yeah.
The army of the shadows has grown. I have been reborn in the fire of love, and I can never die. So don't even try it. Your days are done. Anyway. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I proposed, what was it? Wednesday night?
Wednesday night,
yeah. Do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, it was very romantic.
I think so.
I'm going to include all the little details because, apparently I didn't know this, obviously, but like apparently while I was sleeping, you were like slipping the ring tester on.
I bought these rings from Amazon.com that were just these plastic sizes. It comes with a spindle, but I had to break them off the spindle because I'm not going to be jiggling plastic janitor keys around while I'm trying to do something while you're sleeping. So yeah, I got these plastic rings and I broke the thing. And I took, a few of the ones that, based on the internet, might be your size. And then while you were sleeping, I just kind of grabbed your hand and kind of manipulated. Just kind of. I mean, I'm used to grabbing hands that I can't control from the morgue.
Right.
I had to fingerprint dead people all the time. So it's like, I had some, preparation. And I tested and got your size, and it's pretty close.
Did you have a plan for how you would play it off if I woke up?
I was gonna be like, go to sleep, or like,
go to sleep.
Yeah, I was just gonna pretend I was holding you. I had a loose idea.
Yeah,
that I would just kind of like, what are you talking about? I would just like shame you somehow, or like make you think you were sleeping, or I wasn't gonna hit you. I mean, like that's not. It wasn't that vague. Like maybe I'll hit her with a hand. No. There's limits to what I would have done if you woke up. But I wasn't gonna let you. I felt pretty confident, like because you're a heavy sleeper, and when you do wake up, you're pretty uncoordinated.
Yeah.
So I sized you, and then without you knowing it, more fool you. And then so how did that happen? How did you become the fiance of Kump?
We were kind of just like hanging out in the apartment and stuff, and we have a nice there's a roof in our apartment.
Yeah,
right?
well, in our apartment.
Yeah, well,
we don't live on a roof.
Yeah.
We're not like fucking homeless like squatters on the roof.
They were like, honey, I keep telling you, there's no such thing as having a roof in your apartment. We're just homeless.
There's an underneath the overpass in our apartment. The underneath of the BQE is in our apartment.
So like we're hanging out, and then you kind of like you disappear for a second.
Yeah, when I looked at my phone and I said something like, "Oh shit," and I just kind of left the apartment.
Yeah.
To go up to the roof.
And I'm kind of like, oh, that's weird. Like, because you don't leave the apartment much, nowadays without any kind of explicit reason.
I have to point that out. I mean, I'm not hermit. I mean,
that's true. That you did just go to Tampa.
Okay, yeah. I mean, separate stories.
Yeah.
Well, you went to Tampa once, so I guess you're not like a garden gnome.
Sorry, I want to do this story justice. I'm nervous. I'm diverging this way and that. So anyway. You're up there for a while, and then
I come down. And what do I say?
And you come and you tell me in like a very serious way that the Empire State Building is on fire.
Well, I said, look, I think the Empire State. I was trying to but like, I think the Empire State. Lucie, I think the Empire State Building's on fire. It was like that. It was like kind of like. Which I thought made it more believable. But it was like, I wasn't just like it's on fire. Like, well, that sounds cartoonish. You're like, I don't know. It's like smoking. I think it's on fire. Which is like, look, I knew, it's like it paints an image. But the Empire State Building is iconic.
Yeah.
And so is planes.
No, if the Empire State Building were to burn down, that would be big news.
It would bring back memories.
Yeah.
Not just for us.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we you follow me up.
So anyway, I follow you up, and I'm kind of like, I know that this, like, in my heart, I'm like, I know this isn't real, but like,
You was real. Why would you assume it wasn't real the whole time?
Because I just don't think like,
that it can burn.
No, I don't.
That building can't burn. It's made out of jet fuel.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. It can't possibly be on fire. But like, but I was like, no. If it were on fire, like we would be like packing go bags and getting out of the city. Like,
I don't know if that's true.
I just don't think we would be like sticking around to watch.
I'm not leaving the city every time there's a fire, just so you know.
Yeah, but like, if I was imagining that the Empire State Building was in flames, like implying some kind of, terrorist attack.
Well, that was the implication of the possibility.
Or
sure.
false flag.
It creates a cornucopia of like, what's going on?
Don't worry, I didn't know that you were going to propose to me. Don't. No,
look, you're trying to pretend like you got the better of me.
That was a complete surprise. I swear.
So I say, like, I brought you up the roof.
It's a great thing to say to somebody to just put them in a general state of confusion.
Yeah, and panic and just, dread.
Fear.
And then I brought you up and, and then I said, look, and you got, what? I don't see it. Like, what do you mean? Just looks. Do you know which one the Empire State Building is?
Yeah.
And, like,
I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. It's kind of cloudy, so I'm trying to look through the clouds.
Right.
And then
and I was like, just turn around. And I was on my knees. Yeah, it was nice. And I said nice things about I love you.
Yeah, and then did I cut you off during your proposal? Because I was so excited.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to the point where I said, will you marry me?
Yeah,
it was nice. You were
just saying all these sweet things, and you're on your knee with a ring, so I inferred that you were asking me to marry you.
Sure, I mean, look, it's.
I couldn't wait. I was just like, yes.
I mean, it's an omen for things to come, I guess.
Yeah.
She never lets me get a word in edgewise. I'm just telling them, not my grandkids because they've all been, killed in the wars, but some kids. I'm telling them how you won't let me talk ever. I tell them the story, and then they think I'm a creep. Why'd you tell her that?
Why'd you tell her that, Dad? Our kids will just always. I just imagine our kids constantly accusing us of gaslighting.
I mean, possibly. Why do you think that?
I don't know. I just imagine us telling that story, which is a great story, by the way.
I think it's a good story. I mean, like, some people will you think it's a little dark.
And by that point, the kids will just be so soft. They'll just be like, gaslighter.
We're not gonna let our kids be soft, are we? we might
not have control over it.
Oh, what are they gonna do? Shoot me in the chest with a shotgun when they come to my house, take my kids away? Then do it. I'm going to feed them Chef Boyardee till I fucking drop. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's good. It's a good topic.
Do you think there's a lot of ladies who are crying, who are going to cry themselves to sleep tonight?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they... Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean it. I think there are.
I was gonna make some kind of joke, but it would sound terrible about why they're crying. But it makes me seem like a villain.
It's
so
hard
I'll just take the compliment.
Honestly, what this episode is teaching me so far is that it's hard to make jokes when you're just like celebrating a very happy thing.
Yeah, no, we have to talk about it, but it's not like it's not gonna be.
This is not gonna be the clip.
Well, my speech to my haters might be.
Oh, the speech to the haters.
Could be. That's what we get out of this is that we see our enemies plundered by us. Anyway, we'll move on. It's just our engagement. It's not a big deal. That's a very big deal. I'm kidding. Are you able to keep going?
What?
I'm kidding.
What?
Are you able to keep going? Are you too giddy now?
I'll be able to
Don't get all giddy on me just because I gave you a ring. We're here to do work. I love you.
I love you.
Speaking of love and endless love and the power of marriage, Tiger Woods. He has re-risen, I guess, from the Masters grave. He was in a car accident like 14 months ago. And horrific accident. He'd won the Masters again at some point. I'm not sure when. He came back after years of being not good. Do you know who Tiger Woods is, by the way?
I'm familiar with him. Yeah.
Golfer. He
is the only golfer I know.
He has come back once
except
again.
Arnold Palmer.
You don't know. You know he's a drink because he likes the lemonade and the iced tea.
Yeah, but one time I was like, I wonder why this is called an Arnold Palmer, and then I learned about Arnold Palmer.
He's on the can.
Yeah.
Who do you think he was?
I think when I was a kid, I thought that guy was just like
a drink designer.
The guy who invented the drink. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Arnold Palmer. I've designed a lot. I actually made a pro. I didn't do the Bloody Mary, but I had something called a bleeding Jane, and it was just tomato juice and what would be gross? Red wine. Yeah, tomato juice and red wine. It's tomato puree and red wine. He was a golfer. Anyway, Tiger Woods didn't win the Masters, but it's exciting that he came back. Don't you think? Did you even know he was playing this weekend?
Yes, I did hear it. Yeah. And
I don't have a lot to say about it, but I just think it was we should share. What do you think? Are you excited about Tiger Woods coming back? I wrote Tiger Woods here for some reason. I don't know why. I felt like something we should talk about, but really, I don't watch golf. I mean, the guy. What happened years ago? What was that all about? He was cheating with a bunch of hostesses at Hojo's and like Applebee's and stuff.
And his ex-wife bashed his car or whatever, right?
She smashed up his car good, and then did she smash up his car or did he crash his car, wrap it around a tree, trying to get away from her?
I think both.
Wow. And she was an athlete, right? She was like the Lindsay. Was she Lindsey Vonn?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know who it is, but it's exciting. Look, I know when he was playing golf, it was good too, supposedly. But I prefer that. That was a nice. But what so is he not fucking anymore? Is he not like? That's the thing.
Maybe his near-death experience gave him the will to.
I really like the idea of him having I'm not promoting cheating on spouses, of course. How could I?
Yeah.
But that being said, don't you like the idea that he's just going around just banging waitresses? I mean, look, I think they were all decent looking. They were I don't think they were really gross. I think it's nice. I know it's just not the topical thing about Tiger Woods, but we're pivoting because I didn't. There's nothing to say about him losing the Masters this year, but he did. I mean, what are there new restaurants now that he could was Buffalo Wild Wings around when he was doing this? Because maybe he was doing a comeback. Like he wasn't expecting Rory McIlroy or whoever these golfers are. He didn't. He had to adapt to this competition, and he didn't. He lost. Yeah. So my point is, he's also got to come to new sports bar restaurant chains.
Yeah.
And is there anything else new? I mean,
he should start doing it. He should start branding it like I'm gonna be fucking the waitresses at this location.
He should have his own Hooters type restaurant, or at least like a Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah. He should have what would the cash line be? Something like you're getting fucked by Tiger Woods. Like, come on down to Sticky Woods. Yeah. Sticky Woods. What do you say about wood? It's obviously a term for an erection. But like, is there anything where you use the word wood to as a verb?
How about it's like a pizza restaurant,
right?
Like a fancy kind of like a oven, wood oven pizza restaurant,
right?
And you call it wood burners.
I don't know what that means.
It's just a play on the wood burning pizza oven.
But what? But he's burning his dick?
No. Like there's a.
I want something that implies the dick.
Okay, how about
he's gonna have sex with you?
Wood. Wood.
All right, I'm calling an audible.
Have some wood.
I'm calling an audible. We're gonna call it Tiger Woods free balling, or free ballers featuring Tiger Woods, and it's just him as he's gonna be 60, and he's gonna be bald and a little fat, and he's gonna be just massaging your wife's fucking shoulders while you're eating a basket of chicken fingers and telling your kids to just color on the damn mat. Stop it. And he's just smelling her hair and her ear. And her ear doesn't even smell that good. Like she's got kind of, not like it's not terrible, but there's a weird wax issue. And he's just smelling it, and you can tell he got that weird thing where he's like, oh yeah. He like some people like weird smells.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, like even though he's like 60, you can't stop Tiger Woods from fucking your wife. And that's the commercial. And then come on down to the Tiger Woods free ballers. All right. Anyway, this is a story we were meant to do the other day, and we ran out of time. Oberlin, was it Oberlin or Overland? Oberlin College. I'm gonna bring up the article, but let's bring up the article because it's an interesting thing. Basically, one second. How do I work this thing? Come on, you're my fiance. How do I work this? How do I work this? Where's my news? There. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of it? Can you vamp for a second about it?
This is gonna become a recurring thing. I can tell.
What?
That it's every time there's some technical thing that I'm failing to help you with. You're my fiance.
I'm trying to get you to fucking. I've spilled garbage all over. Your something.
Yeah.
I'm just screaming, "You're my fiance."
And you spilled garbage all over my wedding dress.
I'm holding a gun to my head and just screaming at the top of my lungs, "You're my fiance! You're supposed to help me! For better or worse, do your part!" Where's this Oberlin thing? Vamford. Talk about Oberlin.
Oberlin. I remember that being a popular school.
Why don't I have these things before the show starts? That would be smart.
Do you want me to Vamford?
I do.
Oberlin, I remember being a popular school for kids who like, if there was like a kid who was like kind of comfortable talking about periods at an unusually young age, like a boy who was comfortable talking about periods, or a girl who shaved her head, like those kids would go to Oberlin.
Wait. So when you say a guy, wait, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So you're saying if you met a guy who at a young age but this guy's in college.
No. Like I would say like when they're in high school planning to go to colleges. These are the colleges they'd aim for.
But even that, okay. But you're talking about like high school. You're comfortable.
Yeah. Like
how young do you think is young to like know about periods?
Well, look, not know about it, but it's just like it's like unusually mature about like understanding and respecting women's menstrual cycles.
I mean,
I don't necessarily expect teenage boys to be totally on the caught up with that stuff. As teenagers.
What would
but the
you
kids
like?
Who were would go to Oberlin.
Let's take it aside here. This is going to be your moment. What do you want to say to the young men of America? How much? Just tell them in a digestive form all the things you want them to know about periods.
It's nothing new. It's just they could be an inconvenience. They can hurt. They can cause mood swings. But it's like they're not as extreme as you've been led to believe. It's just an annoyance of producing eggs.
On their behalf, can I ask questions?
Sure.
Is it true that is God punishing you for laying down with snakes?
Probably.
So you've done that. Is it true that women have 4 holes in their vagina? I heard that.
It's close. It's more like 2, but it's an even number.
Okay, which one do you shit out of?
Oh, you're counting the ass as part of the pussy.
No, inside the pussy.
You think we have an asshole inside of our pussy?
I don't know if you call it that, but yeah, is that how you? I don't know.
Who are you asking? I've never met a 13-year-old boy that's misinformed.
I am putting myself in the shoes of a prospectus young man who I feel like ticks the boxes and would go to my college. Anyway, I think that's good. We'll clip that. We'll send that to the CDC.
Great.
So we'll send that.
Yeah, I should be one of those people, in between Jeopardy segments on the commercials going like, here's what you need to know. Mm-hmm. I would be good at that.
I think, look.
Here's what you need to know.
The vaccine may or may not work. If it does, I'm not getting any money. But I'm a doctor, and I think everyone else quit to go work for Pfizer. So I'm here, and I've never been on camera before, but this is nice. Hi. I don't know if anyone gets that, but people who watch Jeopardy.
Yeah.
So Oberlin College lost its appeal. A court upheld a $31.2 million judgment against. So they were sued for $31.2 million, and the Ohio school for defaming a local business. So a unanimous 3-judge panel handed down a long-awaited decision in the case of Gibson's Bakery versus Oberlin College. The court dismissed all of Oberlin's appellate claims and confirmed the jury's finding that the college, a small private liberal arts institution in rural Ohio, was liable for libel. That's a funny word. Intentional infliction of emotional distress and intentional interference with a business relationship. It then upheld the lower court's award to Gibson's Bakery of $25 million and all that. It was a lot of money. But basically, so here's what happened. On November 9, 2016, 3 black Oberlin students walked into Gibson's Bakery, a small bakery. They always add a small family-owned bakery and convenience store runs on the Gibson. Less words. It's also a long-standing affiliation with the college, supplying students with daily breakfast fare. The son of the owner, Aline Gibson, so one of the students used a fake ID to purchase alcohol and then shoplift a bottle of wine. Oh, I forgot that part.
Oh, okay.
When confronted, the student fled the store, chased by Mr. Gibson in an attempt to apprehend him until police could arrive. The other 2 students immediately became involved, and all 3 were arrested. So what's your take on this so far?
Look, it's like kind of like look, I used to shoplift when I was a kid.
I'm not going to admit to anything.
I did a little shoplifting, and it's the kind of thing where I never got caught, but like
right.
my thing was
What's that? I mean, not to put blame on this guy. Also, I'm not the cop against shoplifting. Yeah. I'm not the guy going, hey, well, I don't give a shit. Steal a TV from Best Buy. What do I care? I literally. But that being said, it seems a little brash.
No, but what I was gonna say was I was like, I never got caught, but like, my thing was always like, if I did get caught, I would just say like, I would just make up. So I would just say like, oh, sorry, I forgot I had this in my hands. Like,
well, cops don't necessarily just accept that.
No, but I mean like, but the only
you're showing your privilege.
But
and your ass.
No, but I'm just saying like, and I'm not saying it would have went down this way, but they kind of forced it to go down that way by running down the street and causing a spectacle. And like, if they had stayed on the shop and just been like, sorry, man, the guy would have just been like, get out of here. Like, it's what I'm saying. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, look, my only point was that it seems a little brash because it seems like he tried to buy the wine. They wouldn't let him. And so he just fucking took it and ran, which is bold.
Yeah.
I mean, look, what was my plan if I ever did shop? But I probably just started screaming, do something! Do something! And then, like, just barrel through them. I don't know. I mean, like, no one's really going to lay their hands on
so you basically would have done the exact same thing that these kids did.
Yeah, but, like, I would have made them feel like cowards.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the other thing is that it's like, it's one thing to try a fake ID, but, like, usually you don't just double down if, like,
Sure, I mean, look, he's in a vulnerable position. Yeah. But he, I wonder if he even meant to take the wine. He's just like, I get it. He's just so, motherfucker, I'm trying to get this fucking girl, guy to fucking drink some of this shit wine, like out of the bakery. It's probably cheap and tastes like shit, but we're trying to get fucked up and I get it. But what happened is, it put into motion a massive organized protest with 200 to 300 people gathered outside the bakery. And the students prepared a one-page flyer that accused the bakery of having a history of racial profiling and discrimination. College administrators joined the students in handing out the flyers to the patrons of the bakery and passerbys during the protest. Look, I mean, I don't know what they're protesting. Maybe there is a history.
I mean, this is just like so the wrong thing. Like, I'm not saying that this guy, this shop owner, was definitely not racist. But
right.
Like,
no, I mean, I'm assuming he might have.
In fact, I'll assume he is.
Probably is.
But even if that's true,
Right.
it's like this is so not.
Well, everyone's racist. What are you talking about?
This is but like this is so
He's
not.
upheld. Every day he lives, he upholds institutions.
He upholds the racist system.
Yeah.
But
his bakery might as well be a Klan hut. But in this case, that's what we're here to talk about. This particular instance.
Every day that he greets customers in his store, he might as well be doing a beer hall putsch.
Every day he leaves his bakery to go burn a cross on a lawn. He's upholding racism. See what I did there?
Yeah. But it's like I'm not saying that this guy isn't racist. It's just so crazy how they never fail to live up to the stereotype of always like picking the worst example and trying to like double down on it. It's literally like it's the cartoonish. It's like the thing that some fucking, I don't know, that awful Onion ripoff, the Babylon Bee or whatever would do. It's like racist tries to stop man from stealing from him or something like that. It's literally that kind of like trope,
Racist tries to stop man from stealing from him?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Right. It's like,
yeah. Yeah, people are really hacks.
Right.
So that's true. The protests might not have been well advised to begin with, but that's not really the interesting and weird part of this whole thing.
It gets worse.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, you don't have to be right to protest.
Sure. Yeah.
And maybe you're half right. Maybe these guys are like just fucking. I mean, this is the one time the kid left carrying a bottle. Maybe he planted the bottle on him. But regardless, among the administrators who participated in the protest was Meredith Raimondo, then dean of students. Mr. Raimondo was found to have passed out a flyer to a reporter as well as a large stack of flyers to students to distribute. So they're getting involved. The teachers are getting involved. Is what's really is getting dicey here. The Court of Appeals also noted that in 2017, after the 3 students pleaded guilty for their conduct the previous November, so they pled guilty. Which, look, I get plea deals. Don't mean anything, right? But literally, I mean, people.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll give you 20 years, or you can take a plea deal and go for 5. And it's like, what are you gonna do? You're fucked. But they pleaded in November. Another college administrator who attended the legal proceedings sent a text to Mr. Raimondo stating that, quote, "This is the most egregious process," and that, quote, "I hope we rain fire and brimstone on that store."
Wait. Hold on. Back up for a second.
Yeah.
The shoplifting or whatever I get.
Right.
Is this kid actually going to jail, prison for this?
Because
that would be kind of crazy.
Well, it would be. I mean, they pled guilty. I mean, they're probably doing community service, I would imagine.
Right. They're doing community service, fine.
I mean, look up. I mean, they're not giving the kids names, I guess.
It'd be crazy if it turned out he's like going to prison for 20 to life.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, that would be terrible. That would definitely justify the protest.
Yeah.
After the college newspaper
so
published...
they target the store now.
Right. After the college newspaper published a letter from a retired professor, so some old Oberlin college guy, critical of the college's handling of the Gibson matter, the court recounted that Mr. Raimondo then sent a text, this is where it gets good, sent a text message to another administrator saying, quote, "F him." He probably said, "Fuck him." Fuck him. I'd say unleash the students if I wasn't convinced this needs to be put behind us. Unleash the students. This is the problem. This is like, they all pretend, all these fucking whatever, liberal college, people in college, professors, they all act like they're just teaching. And they're trying to start little O&A pest armies. They're trying to wield the power of mobs. This is so insane. I mean, look, I don't know, this was one article. I don't know the detail, but I mean, but it's also how fucking dumb are you? Like, how do you not realize this is the most open and shut case of defamation I've ever seen?
Yeah.
There have administrators and the dean helping make the flyers, and apparently the flyers said The appellate judge held that while its trial court has properly found that, quote, the student's chants and verbal protests about the Gibsons being racist were protected by the First Amendment, what separated Oberlin and placed it in a financial vice was the active, irresponsible, and defamatory actions of several of its senior administrators. Rather than try to resolve the matter early or use resulting guilty pleas as a lesson, Oberlin actively sought to punish Gibson's Bakery for having a different perspective, for standing by the arrest of. I mean, this is a little high and mighty. I mean, look, if the perspective was that there were a bunch of rape, like,
yeah.
But that being said, you can't just fucking organize. Because apparently, I think I missed the part where the Flyers are also just you can't just look, as a college administrator in a college town, probably you can't just be calling these guys are proven racist. It's I guess nowadays you can, because we all uphold racial systems every day we breathe. That being said,
I just imagine one of these administrators standing in front of a group of students and being like, "You are gonna go out there and you are gonna whine, you are gonna cry." It's just a sea of what did they call that one of Trigglypuffs or whatever?
Trigglypuffs?
That was a meme or whatever.
You mean Jigglypuff?
No, Trigglypuff.
What's a Trigglypuff?
I don't even want to dredge it up again, but it was just some
I want to know.
It was just some person who got memed, a particularly kind of obnoxious student during a protest.
They were a Trigglypuff?
Who got memed as Trigglypuff.
Were they dressed up in a big Jigglypuff outfit?
I honestly, I thought you knew. I didn't know I was gonna have.
I know Jigglypuff from Pokemon. I don't know what Trigglypuff is.
I didn't know I was gonna have to deconstruct.
Google it for me. Show me the Trigglypuff. I need to know. You can't. This is like saying there was they dropped an atomic bomb in Hiroshima. No, I didn't know that.
Look, I'd
have to see the cloud.
The thing is, I don't love the culture that memes this stuff either.
We're not going to show it on the show. I'm not going to release it. I just need to know so I can focus on the show.
That's Trigglypuff.
I just okay, it's a fat person.
Yeah,
I've seen them. I've seen fat people.
But they were screaming. They were spazzing out.
It's like that one picture they always show of that girl with the glasses, and she's like,
right? Yeah, they always have these little stills of certain people.
I don't have memes.
Yeah.
Do people really have folders on their computer with the memes ready, and they just they're ready to pop in? I guess they do. I don't get
Yeah.
Is this a Magic the Gathering thing? We collect the cards. There's people always posting those after memes. Then you see someone post their own meme where it's Michael Jordan going, "Oh, excuse me, I'm going to steal your meme, ma'am."
Oh, I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Can I somehow kill myself as a meme? Can my suicide be But I want the picture to be I want to have a rig where I set ropes up. And then I have an axe and I drop it and it drops a guillotine and takes a picture at the same time. And that's the meme. And then there's text ready to go.
And that's the meme. It can be it becomes a meme people use when it's you're really committing. You're really committing. Or you're winning right now. It'll be you're the meme of you killing yourself.
Surprisingly, it becomes really popular with Japanese motorcycle racer, not Japanese people, but the ones who ride the Suzukis, sports bikes. They use that because it reminds them of some anime or something. It's never what you think. That's what you thought memes were gonna be. That's never. It's if I make a nice TV show about botany, right, cleaning plants and treating them nice, they'll take that and they'll just go. They'll use it to I don't know what people do with memes.
Well, they're basically they're a communication device.
Just say words
for dumb people.
But just say words.
Don't go. They're a way that
picture drawing weird pictures was something we did before we had language, right? Here's a bull and here's a goat and here's me. So that means sex. Let's have sex, right?
Yeah.
But then when they came up with a word for sex, it was this is all right. I can describe. I don't have to hit you with a rock. I mean, you shouldn't do it anyway. But the guys are probably saying that. This words thing that we got going. I used to hit women with rocks. This guy's saying, not me. And but now I don't because I can just say, have sex with me or I'll hit you with a rock.
Yeah, I'm articulate like that.
So yeah, this is pretty crazy. I mean, honestly, I don't. What are colleges for? They're not giving people like jobs to make money, right? That's done. I mean, these debates about student loans. Everyone's like, look, I was sold a bill of goods. I'm not unsympathetic, and I'm not, necessarily against relieving student loans. But it's like, I mean, I don't know. I when I was like, I mean, I did a couple of years of college, but like, I don't know. I always remember being like, I don't want to get just a liberal arts degree because it's useless. And it's just like, they've let these kids down. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are they doing is my point. They don't give you...
Look, I do think there's some truth to like, and I again, like I hate the people who harp on this constantly, but it's like, I do think there's some truth to the idea that it is like in absence of like, programs that could actually like help people get jobs and stuff.
Right.
Like they just become indoctrination machines because that's all that's left over to do, right? Is to just be like, it's a bunch of academics who are actually useless to the discourse.
Yeah.
Like useless. Even if you're actually like the farther you are to the left, the more useless they are.
Right.
Because they're the worst at communicating whatever leftist idea you want to argue for.
Right.
But it's like they're useless to the discourse. They probably know they're useless to the discourse.
Right.
So their only function is creating more of them. Like
more. Why aren't they should be convincing them to become engineers. They should be saying, look, I got this job by the skin of my fucking teeth.
Yeah, no, if they were honest, that's what they would do.
Look at you. Look at the guy left of you. Look at the right of you. Look at your dick or pussy. None of you are going to be here in 4 years. You're all going to be fucking jobless, drinking water that you can light on fire with a match. Because this country's fucked. And I would, if I could do it over, I would, HVAC, heating and air conditioning, duct work, good money, solid work, plumbing, anything that's not reading Chaucer. What job? They used to sell you on this idea that like the well-rounded education, like the liberal, which is like, but that only works when like your job is to like have cocktails and like take the fucking other guys from Eton or Harvard golfing, right? Like, oh, if you have to bring up fucking Proust and be like, well, this whore who's sucking my dick reminds me of the Madeleine from Proust. You know what I mean, Bob? Like getting my dick sucked by whores will remind me of Proust. And so, look, that education served him well. But, really, those kind of things aren't happening because Zoom maybe and, other reasons. We don't do that.
Honestly, like, look, to be fair, like, I majored in English at a state school, so it was like the bill for studying English wasn't so demoralizing that I was like, why did I do this? But it's like, and to be fair, it's like I think actually learning liberal arts stuff is better at like a public college because all of those professors aren't under any illusion that like they're worldly important people, like right. So it's like, so they're actually just going like, look. Like, they actually level with you more. They're like, look, I write poetry. Like, I publish some stuff on the local market. You could buy it. You can buy my poetry if you want.
But clearly things haven't worked out.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like, yeah, sure, you could work writing. Like, you probably won't, but you could. Like, it's like, it's... I mean... You'll be able to write a cover letter.
I'm here.
Like, yeah.
But I don't know how to answer that question. I'm here. I wanted to be a writer. I'm doing this. Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you really good? Maybe.
Maybe.
Can you write stuff that people can jerk off to? Fat women can jerk off to? Because I was reading Kierkegaard, and what's a really fancy author you can quote? Someone prestigious.
T.C. Boyle.
I did my PhD thesis on Hawthorne. and T.C. Boyle.
Melville.
But apparently this fat woman who watched Twilight and thought I'd like to have a broken glass inside my ass, and some guy's just a fucking punch me in the mouth and tell me he's gonna rape me. She's our finest author. So I don't know how to answer your question, ma'am. I'm happy you came to school.
I mean,
I can write a book where a man says, "I'm gonna fill your ass with rat shit." Oh, you like the sound of that, don't you? Said the sweet man named James. I'm James, and I'm gonna shove the rat and the cheese all the way up you. We're gonna eat you from the inside because you're a bad girl. Where's my Pulitzer?
There really should be at this point. Like, it is such a lucrative part of literature that it's actually irresponsible of colleges to not have, like, if you're gonna major in English, a fucklit 101, a fucklit 102.
Sure, like, I mean they would ruin it. They don't know how to do it.
That's true. They would probably just like try to write Lady Chatterley's Lover or something. Yeah, try to make it sophisticated.
Lady Chatterley said, "I'd like some broken glass on my ass." No, that's not realistic. I can't write that. Chaucer would never do that. Keep bringing up Chaucer. It's probably irrelevant to any book besides his. Is Chaucer Chaucer? I read it in high school. The Canterbury Tales. That's useless to know as a writer, right? Except for like abstract, like, oh yeah, this is where it comes from. Sure, like I'd like to see the fucking weird piece of bronze that fucking Greek soldier had to put in his balls so he can get pierced. That's interesting, but it's not useful to me. As much like Canterbury Tales isn't useful to me. It's just too arcane. They use a different language, but they call it English. The stories are dumb.
Yeah, I mean, look, it depends. Like, it's one of those things where it's like knowing Shakespeare isn't necessarily useful unless
people still like Shakespeare. People still go and watch it. Like this is cool. I mean, I don't necessarily love it, but like you see, there's something. Look, I like old things. I like history. But
I was gonna say, like, until you end up writing the screenplay for 10 Things I Hate About You.
Right.
It's an adaptation of Taming of the Shrew.
And you're just fucking Jessica Stiles has a bunch of glass in her ass.
I love that part.
No, I'm just saying, like, whatever. Because you read Shakespeare in high school, so these fucks have to be like, well, how about this? Even though I read that in high school. But point is, they have to keep finding more obscure writers that no one's actually heard of. And they go, well, maybe you should study this to fucking, it's not about making money. It's not about making money. That's why we're in this situation. What can you write? Like, what would you tell a kid to write? And I won't let you tell them a fuck book, because that's just, we're gonna get arrested if you go walk around with me approaching kids, telling them to write fuck books. It's not, people are gonna get, start calling the cop, or at least telling the manager of Starbucks on us.
I would tell them, look, if you had a really like fucked up childhood, try to write a memoir about it. Those sell.
So you want to approach a kid,
and
say, look, I'm not saying this because you're anything I witnessed or observe about you, but if you had a fucked up childhood, which clearly you do, write about it or that's.
Well, I'm just saying, practically speaking, like, those things sell.
Look, I'm not saying your dad hits you.
And maybe it's cathartic. I don't know. I'm
not saying your mom fucks the mailman. maybe you read a book about your mom fucking the mailman. You know what I mean? It's all you got. you look, we can make a story up. No, you don't. That's not us. Yeah, that's not what you do.
And when that kid wins a Pulitzer for The Mailman Cometh, they can write me a letter and thank me.
Well, he won't be able to write a letter because the mailman cut his throat. Because the mom broke it off after he wrote the book. She's embarrassed. The mailman loved having sex with her so much because she just had a really weird pussy. It was like, it just had like a lot more like things inside of it. And he liked it, so he killed him. So you got this kid killed. Congratulations. I mean, what is, look this up for me. What is the most what are the highest earning college degrees of 22 or something?
That's like 2021 or maybe.
Fair enough, whatever.
Because those kids haven't graduated yet. Petroleum engineering.
There we go. Why don't you go find some oil? We need oil, right? I mean, We need some dinosaur blood.
Yeah, that's true.
Are those kids asking for debt forgiveness? The kids who work for fucking Exxon just drilling through some like ancient temple to get fucking 10 gallons of crude? They're doing fine.
Electrical engineering and computer science.
Oh, like making stupid Macs? Yeah, they're
make some dumb Macs.
Here's my new Mac. It doesn't fucking use your headphone jack anymore, you fat fuck.
Making dumb shit goes down a lot smoother when you're making $200K a year.
Sure. So you're going to remove the headphone jack? Yeah. Why? Well, it just takes up space. It really doesn't. I mean, no one's going to care about the extra millimeter. The head. This is why are you paying me to do this?
We want people to buy our Bluetooth headphones.
Look, wires can be annoying, so they'll buy them. And you're just gonna fucking. This seems evil. This seems like we're. Did we do this? And I don't know.
My goal is to strip the MacBook down until it's just a smooth set of triangles that you can't really do anything on. but it shows it's like a retro perversion. It shows you a game of Pong. Oh, but you can't play.
Oh,
you just have to watch.
It's like the seashells from Demolition Man.
Oh yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I've seen Demolition Man.
Here's not how seashells work. Fucking Stallone just fucking voided out. How do I shit? Everyone's making fun of him. What's the next one?
Sorry?
Go on the list.
Oh, okay.
We're doing a list here.
Applied economics and management.
People who fucking, do mortgage crisis. Yeah, there's a lot of money in mortgage crises and stuff.
Yeah.
And cook the book. If you didn't want to pay your student loan, I didn't want to you won't get your hands dirty. You want to buy the house with the cheap, with the juked up credit and the fucking, and the loose mortgage standards. Everyone's down to get credit cards and buy things at Brookstone. Massaging chairs, right? Now above that, with your liberal arts degree, with your cushy jobs in the 2000s, but the guys who get their hands dirty making it happen by cheating and stealing and ripping off poor people, not but I don't want to make enough money. Yeah, you weren't helping. They were helping. That's why they made the money. Anyway, go on.
Operations research.
Fuck does that mean?
I don't know. That's
CIA
that's where you get into you're murdering people at that point. I mean, I understand if you don't want to go for that, but it is a big paycheck.
Killing union leaders.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what that is. And public accounting.
That's not true. Maybe I don't think that's not good business. Any closing thoughts on college before we move on?
It's go or don't.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna live long enough to pay your student loans off, probably. Whatever.
There's a thing where it's like they are probably bullshit now, but it's like that's not the thing that's gonna get us.
Right.
There's plenty of other things that are gonna kill us before that.
And it's not gonna be COVID. It's not gonna be Greta Thunberg or her schemes. It's gonna be like a giant bug.
Yeah, it is going to be a giant bug.
And we're not going to see it coming. And we're all going to feel like idiots for worrying. Because this bug is just fucking us with his bent hand that bugs have.
Bugs famously bent hands.
You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like ear and joints in there.
Yeah.
It's creepy. Don't like it. Russia. They got the whole thing with the war with Ukraine. They have a new general in charge of the Ukrainian war. Now, I guess let's find this real quick. I have it's right on top. What the fuck? I had it and now it's gone. Now, whatever. I just do it. So, Putin replaced him finally. I don't know the general's name. It doesn't matter. I know him. I know that particular fucking Russian general. Who gives a shit? They weren't winning the war, so they replaced him. what I find very interesting is that they did not, up until this point, they didn't have one guy in charge of the military, apparently. This guy's now in charge of the whole thing. But they didn't have that. I think Putin was just apparently telling them, like, just go in there, take Ukraine. Like, what do you mean take? Who's in charge? Like, who's got the war plan? Just you drive up to the cities and you fucking shoot the women, the pregnant women, and you shoot the fucking the dogs, and they'll surrender. This is KGB 101. We do this all the time. And they were like, all right, because But now they have a guy who's in charge. So you mean maybe they'll do better in the war? I don't know.
Yeah.
Why is Russia so bad at this?
So bad
at the war. I mean, like, I didn't think they were like. I know the whole story about the Cold War, how like they were like really far behind economically, even though we pretended like they weren't, and a lot of it was us just making a paper tiger. That's the right word, analogy. But the point is, they don't seem. This doesn't seem. I mean, we've lost wars. Don't get me wrong, but like we never had a problem like destroying things.
Yeah.
Like we'll drop these weird bunker busters and torture people and like have butt pyramids at Abu Ghraib. Yeah. We'll take your prison that everyone's like is infamous for being a torture prison, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna destroy it?" It's like, maybe one day, maybe, and we're gonna start shoving car batteries up your ass. Yeah, it's not exactly a good win, but it's different. This is different. It seems odd. They haven't learned like the most basic fundamental lesson of history, Russia.
Which is what?
What do you think is the most, if you had to, I know you're not a military tactician, but like what's the most like famous piece of military history now? Like what's the truism that like everyone says all the time?
I only know about some, military concept. I know about the Fabian strategy.
What?
The Fabian strategy, when like an army, it's like the Roman strategy of
What's the Fabian? What is this?
That they used in like the Revolutionary War, where you just keep retreating until you get the opposing army where you want them and they're following you, and then you get them.
What do you mean you get them?
Yeah, like you kind of play possum, like you keep retreating until you get them in like a geographically advantageous area, and then you boom, boom, boom.
So you basically
stabby.
So your plan as a general is to go, look.
It's not my plan. It's Washington's plan.
Well, Washington was a fraud. The French won the war, not us. Your plan, when you get pitched to like the commander in chief and the joint chiefs, is that when you face another army, we're just going to turn around and start running.
Yeah.
And pray to God that we run into the mountains of Thermopylae.
Yeah. Yeah.
From 300. And then we can we pray to God that we don't end up like the soldiers at Dunkirk who retreated to the ocean and couldn't get out. Eventually, but they got him out, but that was a whole movie because like it was exciting because they shouldn't have. See my point? You're gonna back yourself into an ocean or some kind of a cliff. You're fucked. But no, I wasn't referring to the Fabian strategy.
Okay, what were you referring to?
Don't invade Russia.
Oh, right.
Everyone, Hitler tried it. Napoleon tried it. It's like there might be a more eloquent way of saying it, but like the whole thing is like, never try to invade Russia, or at least maybe don't invade Russia in the winter is the thing, right?
Yeah,
that's it. But still, I think the more important words are, don't invade Russia. It doesn't go well, right?
Right.
And it's strange because Putin's whole gimmick is that Ukraine is supposedly part of Russia.
Right.
You're invading Russia. That's why this isn't working.
Yeah.
You've invaded Russia in the winter. It was the winter when he went in.
That's true.
You invaded Russia in the winter.
Yeah, no good.
Now, Zelensky might not say that, but you were saying that. You believe it's Russia.
Honestly, it would be so cool if Zelensky found a way to say that without tacitly admitting that Ukraine was part of Russia. Like if he
well, look,
if he could play off, he's a former comedian. He could pull off the play on words.
I was about to say he's done well in this thing, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a better comedian.
That's true.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Because I just did that. I just found a way. I did it. So,
do you think Zelensky would let you write his speeches?
I mean, if he, are you asking me if I think he's a very, very smart guy? I don't know. I mean, he should.
I want to pitch that to him.
Look, he might. I mean, look, honestly, I think look, what's going to really disappoint you, it's like, I bet when you meet Benedict Cumberbatch, you think he's going to be really witty and charming. He's probably just another guy. And like when you meet fucking, who's the guy from Mad Max and all those great, Tom Hardy. You think he's going to be this fucking rough and like this guy you want to hang out and play pool, drink fucking pints with, and he's just like, I'm pill or whatever. I'm just saying, like, people are never who you want them to be.
Yeah.
I think Zelensky. Look, I'm not saying he's sold out because like he's still doing the war thing, right? But he's talking to Amy Schumer on Skype or whatever. Yeah. He's probably like got Brad Pitt sending him nice things. He's gonna fucking try to big league me. You know that he's gonna give me the high hat, the high hand.
If that happens, fuck him.
I mean, what, you want me to send him a writing packet?
Yeah.
I'll get. What you want me to give a speech as Zelensky?
Yeah.
This is what he'll write.
Imagine he's sitting here and he's just going like, yeah, I've seen your podcast. Yeah. You're a very funny guy. Please pitch me what you're.
I'll just do the speech and you can take it or not. Because I'm not going to be begging. Much like you won't beg for your country, I'm not going to beg you. I'm a man.
I can respect that.
Fair enough. When I was a child in the streets of Ukraine, I once ate a muffin. It was corn, perhaps blueberry. And I remember thinking, I kind of like to see a man die. It was a strange thought. But I'd like to watch a man just be shot in the head. And that's when I realized that I could be a comedian and a president. Because I feel nothing. You parade these victims of the war to me, and I won't flinch. Some old woman you ran over with a monster truck, whatever. I mean, I feel bad, but not really. I mean, I'm not going to stop. And by the way, Zelensky, you're going to kind of like, I want you to break it up at that point. You kind of seem like you're talking off the cuff. And you go, and you're going to say this line, I could watch 1,000 old women be run over with various types of trucks, and I don't give a shit. All right?
Sorry, do you want me to, are you asking me to kind of go in like a Tim Robinson direction with this? Like,
is that what you got for that?
It was a little bit, I think you should leave. There's a little shade of that in there.
All right. Well, like there's a little shade of like, yeah. What is the hero cycle? I'm sorry that one time I had a mannerism that was kind of like Tim Robinson. Jesus Christ! I'm pitching Zelensky right now. You're ruining this, Lucie. It was a little. Yeah. And then you're gonna cap it off with this. I surrender. Or you want to say anything?
Check out the Patreon.
Check out the Patreon. You get an extra episode every week for $5 a month. That's a pretty good deal. People like it. It's a growing operation because people are liking it. They're coming and they're staying because it's good. And if not, we enjoy you, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week.